If you're waiting to feel passionate about your work, you're going to wait forever. And that waiting is stealing your life. You know what the most dangerous advice is? The advice that sounds so beautiful, so inspiring, so right. Follow your passion. 3 simple words. They roll off the tongue like honey. They make you feel warm inside. They promise you everything your heart desires. But here's what nobody tells you. This advice has destroyed more lives than it has ever saved. Right now, as you're listening to this, there's a young person somewhere drowning in debt. They followed their passion for art or music or theater. They're 28 years old, living with their parents, watching their friends buy homes while they can't afford groceries. They're someone else. 42 years old. They left their stable job to follow their passion, to start that dream business. It failed. Their marriage is falling apart. Their children ask, why Daddy is always sad. You see, I've spent decades studying human behavior, watching what actually creates fulfillment, what actually creates success, what actually creates peace. And here's what I've discovered. The people who are most miserable are often the ones who followed their passion. The people who are most fulfilled, they did something entirely different. So one of the things that being a professional, they followed their curiosity. They developed their skills. They served something bigger than themselves. But let's start at the beginning. Why does follow your passion sound so right? Because it speaks to something deep within you. The part of you that believes you're special. The part that believes you deserve to love every moment of your work. The part that believes passion equals purpose. This isn't your fault. You've been programmed to think this way. Every movie you've watched shows the hero following their dream. Every graduation speech tells you to pursue your passion. Every Instagram post from successful people makes it look effortless. But here's the truth. They don't show you. Behind every successful person who followed their passion, there are 1,000 others who tried the same thing and failed miserably. You don't see them because failure isn't glamorous. It doesn't get book deals. It doesn't get TED Talks. Let me tell you about passion, real passion, not the fantasy version. Passion is not a feeling you discover. It's not hiding somewhere inside you, waiting to be found. Passion is not your soulmate, wandering around looking for you. Passion is something you develop through mastery, through service, through contributing something meaningful to the world. Think about it this way. Do you think a master craftsman was passionate about woodworking from day one? Or did their passion develop as they got better, as they created beautiful things, as people valued their work? The passion came after the skill, not before. But we've got it backwards. We think the passion comes first. We think you should feel excited about something before you commit to it. We think you should love it immediately. This is like expecting to love someone on the first date. It's childish thinking. Real love develops over time, through understanding, through shared experiences, through growing together. The same is true for work, for careers, for any meaningful endeavor in life. Here's what happens when you follow your passion too early. You pick something because it excites you in the moment. You have no skills, no experience, no understanding of what it really takes. You jump in with both feet, full of enthusiasm, full of dreams. Then reality hits. It's harder than you thought. It takes longer than you expected. It requires skills you don't have. It demands sacrifices you weren't prepared to make. Your passion starts to fade. The excitement disappears. You start to doubt yourself. Maybe this isn't my real passion, you think. Maybe I need to find something else. So you quit, and you search for the next passion, the next excitement, the next feeling. You become a passion seeker, always looking, never building, never developing, never mastering. Do you see the trap? You're chasing feelings instead of creating value. You're pursuing excitement instead of excellence. You're looking for what the world can give you instead of what you can give the world. This is why follow your passion is terrible advice. It makes you a consumer, not a creator. It makes you dependent on feelings instead of focused on contribution. Let me share something with you. Something that might change everything. The most fulfilled people I know didn't start with passion. They started with curiosity. They started with a willingness to serve. They started with a commitment to excellence. They picked something that seemed interesting, not necessarily exciting, just interesting. Something where they could learn, where they could grow, where they could contribute. Then they got really, really good at it. And here's what happened. As they got better, they started to care more. As they contributed more, they found more meaning. As they mastered their craft, passion began to emerge. But it wasn't the shallow feeling-based passion they were told to follow. It was something deeper, more sustainable, more real. It was the passion that comes from mastery, the passion that comes from service, the passion that comes from knowing you're making a difference. This kind of passion doesn't disappear when things get hard. It doesn't fade when you have a bad day. It doesn't depend on your mood or your circumstances because it's built on something solid. Your skills, your contribution, your growth. Now I can hear what you're thinking. But what if I hate what I'm doing? What if I'm miserable? Here's the thing. You're probably miserable because you're focused on the wrong things. You're focused on how you feel instead of how you're growing. You're focused on what you're getting instead of what you're giving. You're focused on the work instead of the mastery. Let me give you an example. Two people start the same job, same company, same role, same pay. One person thinks, this isn't my passion. I don't love this. I'm just here for the paycheck. The other person thinks, how can I get really good at this? How can I contribute more? How can I learn and grow? After 2 years, who do you think is happier? Who do you think has more opportunities? Who do you think has developed more passion for their work? The difference isn't the work, it's the mindset. It's the approach. It's what they chose to focus on. This is crucial for you to understand. Your experience of any activity is largely determined by your approach to it, not the activity itself. You can make almost anything meaningful if you approach it with the right mindset. And you can make even the most passionate activity miserable if you approach it wrong. So what's the right approach? What should you do instead of following your passion? First, follow your curiosity, not your excitement. Curiosity. Curiosity is quieter than passion. It's more sustainable. It's based on learning, not feeling. It asks, what would happen if? Instead of, will this make me happy? Curiosity leads to exploration. Exploration leads to learning. Learning leads to skill development. Skill development leads to mastery. And mastery leads to genuine passion. Second, focus on contribution, not consumption. Ask yourself, how can I serve instead of what will this give me? When you focus on contribution, everything changes. You stop being needy. You stop being dependent on external validation. You start creating value instead of seeking it. And here's what's beautiful about this. When you create value, value flows back to you. When you serve others, others want to serve you. When you contribute, you become essential. Third, embrace the learning process, especially the uncomfortable parts. Real growth happens when you're stretched, when you're challenged, when you're doing things that are slightly beyond your current ability. This doesn't feel like passion in the moment. It feels like work. It feels difficult. It feels uncertain. But this is where magic happens. This is where you develop skills that set you apart. This is where you build the foundation for genuine, lasting passion. Most people avoid this discomfort. They want passion to feel good all the time. They want growth without challenge. They want mastery without struggle. But that's not how life works. That's not how mastery works. That's not how fulfillment works. You know what the real problem is with following your passion? It makes you passive. It makes you a victim of your feelings. When you don't feel passionate, you think something's wrong. You think you need to change what you're doing. You think the solution is external. But feelings are temporary. Emotions come and go. Passion, as a feeling, is unreliable. What's reliable? Your commitment, your work ethic, your willingness to grow, your dedication to service. These things don't depend on how you feel. They depend on who you choose to be. They depend on your character. They depend on your values. This is what creates lasting fulfillment. Not the pursuit of feelings, but the development of character. Not the chase after passion, but the commitment to excellence. Let me tell you about someone I know. She's a teacher. Started teaching because she needed a job, not because she was passionate about education. For the first 2 years, she was just going through the motions, doing what was required, nothing more. Then something shifted. She started paying attention to her students, really paying attention. She noticed who was struggling, who was bored, who needed extra encouragement. She began staying after school to help. Not because she had to, because she started to care. She started reading about better teaching methods. She started experimenting with new approaches. Slowly, she got better. Her students started performing better. They started enjoying her class. Parents started requesting her specifically. Now, 20 years later, she can't imagine doing anything else. She's passionate about teaching. Deeply, genuinely passionate. But the passion didn't come first. The skill came first. The service came first. The mastery came first. The passion followed. This is how it actually works in the real world. This is the path to genuine fulfillment. But here's the part that might be hard to hear. Most of you won't do this. Most of you will keep chasing feelings. Keep looking for that perfect passion. Keep waiting for something external to make you fulfilled. Because it's easier, it's more comfortable. It lets you stay a victim of your circumstances instead of becoming the creator of your experience. It lets you blame the work when you're unhappy instead of taking responsibility for your approach. It lets you keep searching instead of committing. It lets you stay on the surface instead of going deep. But you're here listening to this, which means you're different. You're ready to hear the truth. You're ready to do the work. So let me give you some practical steps. Some things you can start doing today. First, stop asking, what am I passionate about? Start asking, what am I curious about? What could I learn? Where could I contribute? Notice the difference in these questions. One makes you a seeker. The other makes you a creator. Second, wherever you are right now, in whatever job or situation, ask yourself, how can I get really good at this? How can I contribute more value? How can I serve better? Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Don't wait to feel passionate. Start where you are, with what you have, with who you are today. Third, embrace the learning process. When something feels difficult, remember that difficulty is where growth happens. When you feel challenged, remember that challenge is building your capabilities. Fourth, measure your progress by your skills, not your feelings. Are you getting better? Are you contributing more? Are you more valuable today than you were 6 months ago? If the answer is yes, you're on the right path. Even if you don't feel passionate yet. Even if it's still hard. Even if you're not sure where it's leading. Fifth, be patient with the process. Real mastery takes time. Real passion takes time. Real fulfillment takes time. We live in a world that promises instant everything, instant success, instant passion, instant fulfillment. But the best things in life don't work that way. The best things in life are developed, cultivated, earned through commitment and consistency and character. Here's something else you need to know. The world will test your commitment. It will test your resolve. It will test whether you're serious about this path or just playing games. People will tell you you're crazy. They'll say you're wasting your talent. They'll question why you're not following your dreams like everyone else. Your family might not understand. Your friends might think you've given up. Society will whisper that you're settling for less than you deserve. But here's what they don't see. They don't see the strength you're building. They don't see the skills you're developing. They don't see the character you're forging through consistent, dedicated effort. They're looking for the flash, the excitement, the overnight success story. They don't understand that real success is built quietly, steadily, without fanfare. While they're chasing the next shiny object, you're going deeper. While they're following feelings, you're building foundations. While they're seeking passion, you're creating it through mastery. This is your advantage. This is your secret weapon. This is what will set you apart in a world full of passion seekers and dream chasers. You understand something they don't. That fulfillment isn't found, it's forged. That passion isn't discovered, it's developed. That meaning isn't given to you, it's created by you. And here's the beautiful irony. While everyone else is running around looking for their passion, you'll actually find yours. Not by seeking it, but by building it. Not by feeling it, but by earning it. The very thing they're desperately searching for, you'll have, but you'll have earned it the right way, through service, through mastery, through commitment to something bigger than your feelings. Now here's what I want you to understand. You have more control over your fulfillment than you think. You have more power over your passion than you realize. You don't have to wait for passion to find you. You don't have to hope that someday you'll discover your calling. You don't have to depend on external circumstances to feel fulfilled. You can create passion. You can develop fulfillment. You can build a meaningful life. Right now, where you are, with what you have. But it requires a fundamental shift in how you think about work, about life, about yourself. It requires you to stop being a consumer and start being a creator. Stop being a seeker and start being a builder. Stop being passive and start being intentional. And here's something crucial that nobody talks about. This shift doesn't just change your career, it changes everything. Your relationships improve because you become someone worth knowing. Your confidence grows because it's built on real competence, not empty affirmations. Your peace deepens because you're no longer at the mercy of your moods or circumstances. Your sense of purpose clarifies because you're actually contributing something meaningful to the world. When you stop chasing feelings and start building value, your entire life transforms. Not overnight, not dramatically, but steadily, surely, profoundly. You become the kind of person who attracts opportunities instead of seeking them. The kind of person others want to work with, learn from, be around. The kind of person who creates value wherever they go. This is what mastery does. This is what service creates. This is what happens when you choose growth over comfort, contribution over consumption, excellence over excitement. Most importantly, it requires you to stop looking outside yourself for what can only be found within. Passion isn't out there waiting to be discovered. It's in here, waiting to be developed. Through your commitment, through your service, through your growth, through your mastery. This is the real secret. This is what nobody tells you. This is what will change everything if you let it. You don't need to find your passion. You need to create it. You don't need to discover your purpose. You need to build it. You don't need to wait for fulfillment. You need to earn it. And you can start today, right now, in this moment, by choosing growth over comfort, service over self, mastery over mediocrity, character over feelings. This is your invitation. Not to follow your passion, but to create it. Not to find your purpose, but to build it. Not to seek fulfillment, but to earn it. Let me tell you something that might shock you. The most passionate people I know went through periods of doubt, periods of struggle, periods where they questioned everything. I should rephrase that. It's on every card, but they didn't quit. They didn't go looking for another passion. They stayed, they persisted, they trusted the process. And something beautiful happened. The work began to work on them. The challenges began to change them. The service began to shape them. They discovered that passion isn't something you feel for work. It's something work develops in you. It's character. It's resilience. It's the deep satisfaction that comes from becoming excellent at something meaningful. You see, when you follow passion as a feeling, you're always at the mercy of your emotions. Good day, you're motivated. Bad day, you want to quit. Criticism comes, you doubt everything. Success arrives, you feel invincible. You're on an emotional roller coaster. And roller coasters, while exciting, don't get you anywhere. They just go in circles. But when you commit to mastery, something different happens. You develop emotional stability. You become less dependent on external validation. You start measuring success by internal standards. Did you grow today? Did you serve today? Did you get better today? These become your metrics. These become your foundation. And here's what's remarkable. When you stop needing passion to motivate you, you become unstoppable. When you stop depending on feelings, you become reliable. When you focus on contribution, you become essential. Think about the people you most admire, the people who have made real contributions to the world. Did they follow their passion, or did they develop it through service? The doctor who saves lives, did she start passionate about medicine, or did she develop that passion through helping people heal? The teacher who changes lives, did he begin passionate about education, or did that passion emerge through watching students grow? The entrepreneur who creates jobs, did she start passionate about business, or did that passion develop through solving problems and serving customers? In almost every case, the passion followed the service. The fulfillment followed the contribution. The love followed the commitment. This is the path less traveled. This is the path that leads to genuine fulfillment. This is the path that creates lasting success, but it requires patience. It requires faith. It requires you to do good work even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. It's not vice, it's ethic. And it's our responsibility. Because that's when character is built. That's when resilience is developed. That's when you discover who you really are. Not when everything is easy, not when you feel passionate, but when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's thankless, when you show up anyway. That's when you become someone worth knowing, someone worth following, someone worth becoming. The question isn't what you're passionate about. The question is what you're willing to become passionate about through your dedication, your service, and your commitment to excellence. That's a question only you can answer. And how you answer it will determine everything. Your life is waiting, not for you to find your passion, but for you to create it. Not for you to discover your purpose, but for you to build it. Not for you to feel fulfilled, but for you to earn that fulfillment through excellence and service. You are not a passion seeker. You are a passion creator. You are not a dream chaser. You are a dream builder. The time for seeking is over. The time for creating has begun. You are not a passion seeker. You are a passion creator. You are not a dream chaser. You are a dream builder. The time for seeking is over. The time for creating has begun.